Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can create a profitable Onlyfans and how you can also implement psychology to make more money. So I've gone for a more visual look in this video, and if you do prefer this style of video, then make sure to let me know in the comments and I can do more of them. So how to build a profitable Onlyfans using psychology to make more money. The Onlyfans game is exploding. Thousands of new users join every single day. While some creators are fighting to make their first $100, others are pulling in more in a week than most people do in a month. What separates them isn't luck, it's a smart strategy and a little bit of psychology. So if you're tired of clocking into a job that you can't stand, or you're living a life that doesn't light you up, then this could be the moment that everything changes. So I've made a little diagram here, the freedom shift. So you're frustrated 9 to 5, creator launch, content strategy, loyal fan base, and then eventually financial freedom. And I've put some results here on the screen. It's what you want to be seeing, right? So your landing page is your first impression, right? So imagine you're walking into a bar and you lock eyes with someone across the room. In that first 5 seconds, you've already decided whether you're interested in them or not. Your OnlyFans landing page works exactly the same way, and most creators focus on posting but forget that if their profile doesn't convert, then fans aren't going to sub, right? And the psychological principle, the first impression bias. So people decide in seconds whether to trust, like, or buy from you. So here, the first impression bias describes how we make quick judgments about others that are often subject to bias or error. The theory stems from the idea that humans are limited in their information processing abilities and will often rely on the first piece or pieces of information they receive. First impression. So step 1, you want to price with intention. So free pages equals freeloaders. If you've got a free OnlyFans page, you're going to attract so many freeloaders. Even if your page is a paid page and you send out free links, they're going to be freeloaders, right? You want buyers, not window shoppers. Think of it like a club. So let's say there's a club with no entry fee. It's packed with people, but none of them have a plan to spend. But a small paywall, so let's say a $5 to $12 entry fee, that will act like a filtration system to find the people who will actually value your content in this scenario. And obviously in the club scenario, they're more likely to buy because they've paid to get in there, so they're gonna buy drinks, let's say, for example. And then freeloaders versus qualified fans, so 100 people at the door, $0 entry, probably gonna get like 95 freeloaders. $7 entry, 20 serious buyers, so less people but more valuable. And step 2, your visuals are your vibe. Think of your banner like it's the blurb on the back of a book. It should tell your story in 2 seconds. You want people to look at it and they just instantly know what you're about. So like, are you the mysterious tease? Are you a gamer girl, a playful flirt? Show that in your imagery and don't give away everything, but just enough to spark curiosity. I've attached Julia and Sophie Rain's banners here just so you can see an example. These are good banners, really good quality pictures, and you can tell by both of these that they're kind of like the girl next door vibe, right? They're not giving away too much, they're not showing too much. It's like tease and innocent vibes in a way, if you know what I mean. Step 3, bio that sells without sounding robotic. So this is like your 2 to 3 line pitch, and avoid listing what you are. Instead, hint at the experience they're going to get. So don't be like, welcome to my page, I post nudes. Like, that's the point, right? Maybe say, step inside and see what I don't show anywhere else. It creates that little element of mystery. And emotional framing is always going to be greater than logical facts. People don't care about the logical facts. They want to know what they're going to get out of it. Next, I'm going to talk about traffic, and you should always choose depth over chaos, right? I see so many creators doing everything all at once, almost too much. TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, dating apps, Twitter. It's like trying to water 5 plants with one tiny cup. None of them are going to grow, right? So pick 1 to 2 platforms and dominate them. Focus in on 1 or 2 platforms. Don't spread yourself thin across every single platform. I've got some platforms here and like a bit about them. So for example, Instagram and TikTok are the best platforms to use because it's curiosity content and high conversion. Whereas Reddit, you kind of have to put yourself in like a niche, and it is a time investment. And then Twitter or X, too much exposure and it kills the mystery. To be successful on Twitter or X, you need to give more than you should, like by showing too much. And by doing that, you're killing the mystery. And to be honest, freeloaders cycle from these two platforms. Whereas Instagram and TikTok, that's where you're most likely to find the big spenders. I have done a video on this explaining about organic content and why it's better to get big spenders and the psychology behind it. But yeah, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, but these are the two most popular. And then I've added like a little meme here, trying to decide on anything with multiple options, like, because cognitive overload, too many options mean no traction, right? If you're doing too much and not focusing in on less things and doing them well, it's not going to work. So with your content, you need to position it in a way that it's actually going to sell, because what used to work doesn't work anymore. Things have changed over the last few years. So like the days are gone where one bikini pic will bring in thousands of subs. That will not happen anymore, unfortunately. The game is harder. So now it's about building a brand personality that people want to follow. All of the top earners aren't just creators. So choose 3 to 5 content vehicles. So think of your content like different flavors of ice cream, right? You don't need 30 different flavors. You just need a few good ones that do really well. So for example, a gym baddie, a gamer girl, a soft girl, girl next door. So I've added an example for each. You can clearly see the difference between each one. So with our creators as well, we have a handful of verticals that they do. So by verticals, I mean like Instagram Reels, for example. Whatever ones perform the best for that creator are the ones they focus on the most. It's all about testing as well with verticals, but you don't want to be doing like 100 different things, because you don't want to be known for loads of things. You want to be known for like less things, but they get more views, if that makes sense. Like for example, she might be known for doing like specific stretches in a certain atmosphere. That's going to be one of her verticals, right? And girl next door, one of her verticals could be like a talking vertical about like relationship stuff. And then a gamer girl, one of her verticals could be like dressing up as cosplay or stuff like that. But you don't also want to like dedicate yourself to just one specific thing, because then it's very like niche and it's not going to appeal to as many people. Like you want your audience to be broad, but you don't want it to be too broad. You want to kind of zone in on like specific things, but have like a few different things. So for example, if you're a gym baddie, like I said, you don't want to just do like gym related content. You could do content that is still like kind of gym related, like for example, a try on haul, but it's gym clothing. Or you could do like a get ready with me to go to the gym. Or you can even just do like generic skits or just trends, but wearing gym clothing, or make it gym related. That way you're not like zoning in too much on just your niche and like less verticals. You can still have like a good amount of verticals and different types of content, but still having that kind of like niche about you. I think the best way to explain this is like, for example, not everyone is into feet, right? Like a foot fetish. So if someone makes their whole page about feet, people who don't like feet are not going to be interested, and people who don't specifically have a foot fetish might look past it. Like, yes, you will really appeal to the foot fetish audience, but then you're kind of limiting your audience because everyone else won't be interested, right? Like, if you use your feet in a different way, so it's not like the direct meaning behind your page, like you're not just putting your feet out there, and it's like subtly in each vertical, like you could do like a try on haul, but your feet are out, or like walking verticals on the beach in a bikini, obviously your feet are out. It's subtle, but it still can appeal to more people, but it still can appeal to the foot fetish people. That's just an example that pops into my head. So next I'm going to talk about fan psychology, because that is the best way to get your money up. So the biggest mistake that creators make is treating every fan the same. You wouldn't talk to your best friend the same way you'd talk to your boss. So why would you send the same pay-per-view to 1,000 different fans? And then here I've written the fan types. So there's the freeloaders, the impulse buyers, and the whales. There are more fan types, but these are like the broad 3. So freeloaders watch your page, but they rarely buy anything. You can keep them entertained, but only with your Onlyfans wall, so what you post on your feed, so what they see after they've subbed, right? And then the impulse buyers, they will buy content when the content hits their kink or what they're looking for. And then you have the whales, which are the big spenders. These guys want a connection with you. They're not there for the content, they're there for the connection and the feeling. And they hate feeling like they're a part of a mass audience. They do not like mass messages. They do not want to feel like they're not special. They want to feel special. They want that premium experience. Again, I have done a video like talking about big spenders and how to get them, so make sure to check that out if you want to give that a watch. And as well, they dislike spam. They don't want to be spammed. They, again, just want that special connection. So something we always do and always have done and always will do is unticking big spenders from mass messages. Everything for them needs to be personalized. This leads me on to the next part about targeting and scaling, right? So Onlyfans gives you one of the most powerful tools, and most creators never use this properly. And this is the lists feature. So this is what it looks like. Here is an example. Think of lists as your secret weapon. So instead of sending the same $30 video to everyone, you can send it to your foot fetish fans, your boy-girl lovers, your mid-tier spenders, or to your higher spenders, each for a different price. So for example, a time waster will pay $30 for a vid and a whale will pay $90 for the exact same vid, because it's not about the price, it's the way you frame it. An example popping into my head is like Louis Vuitton, right? You can get a fake Louis Vuitton bag or you can get a real one. They might look the same, but if you get the real one, even though it's way more expensive, it holds more value. It's all about perceived personalization. People spend more when they feel something was made for them. So if it's personalized, if it's custom, or if they think that you've just sent it to them rather than just sent it to the mass. So if you send a pay-per-view out at one price, you're going to deter the lower spenders and lose out on money from the bigger spenders. And what I mean by this is the time wasters, for example, you could send stuff a tiny bit cheaper because a sale is better than no sale, and you know that they'll be more likely to spend if it's at like a lower price. Whereas the bigger spenders will likely spend more. So if you send out something for one price, they would likely have spent more. So you're missing out by just making it generalized. Like I say here, one size fits all is going to be small revenue and segmented targeting, exponential growth. And here I've got a delicious looking pizza and an example. It's like giving everyone in a group the same pizza topping versus giving each person their favourite flavour. If you're at a party and you hate pepperoni and you get a pepperoni pizza, you're not going to be as happy and want it as much as if it was like just loads of cheese, right? If that was your favourite. Gave this example because who doesn't love pizza, and I think it's pretty relatable, to be honest. So a pricing strategy hack, when you segment your fans, you can ladder your prices. So for example, lower spenders could get teaser content, mid spenders could get premium pay-per-views, and the whales get exclusive customs and more one-on-one attention. And then price anchoring and exclusivity. People pay more when they see higher tiers exist. I'll explain this with these two examples. So a sexting set, for example. The point of using one of these is to get the spender to keep spending but increase the price each time. The more they get into it, the less they think about the consequences of spending money. Same as gambling, right? It's bad to say, but it's the same as gambling. So, for example, a tease, and then pay-per-view 1, pay-per-view 2, pay-per-view 3, pay-per-view 4, and then the final pay-per-view, which is the grand finale, if you know what I mean. So in pricing format, that is going to look like this. Free, $12, $25, $40, $65, $100. Obviously dependent on the sub, but that's just an example, right? And then a custom video example, so tier 1, the lower tier, a quick video, not much detail, is the cheapest option for a custom vid. And then tier 2, the mid tier, more detailed and a longer video, higher price. And then tier 3, the upper tier, very detailed and personalized, the highest price. You would be surprised how many people would go for this option just because it's there. Let's say someone wants a custom video and you don't have these tiers and you just do the first one, you're not going to be able to get as much money out of people. Whereas if you offer all three, they might even go for the second or third option, because why would they want the worst option? Like, no one would want the least good option. So they'll at least go for this or this one, hopefully. But like overall, this isn't about posting random content and hoping for the best. It's really not. It's about understanding how people think, how they buy and connect, then building a brand around that. Because at the end of the day, this is a business, right? You have your own business running an OnlyFans, which is going to require marketing, it's going to require sales, all the psychology and stuff behind it. So yeah, you need to build a brand around all these things. And if you apply these steps, psychology, smart targeting, and clear branding, then 2025 or 2026 can be your year of actual freedom. I want you guys to drop a comment of what kind of creator that you want to become by the end of this year or in 2026. I always read my comments and I reply to every single one. And if you do need help scaling, my team is actually accepting a few new creators right now. So if you do need help, check the link in the description and message me on Instagram. But let's make next year or the rest of this year your year. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.